broadcasting. Let me know when we got somebody. What? You have come in on the new link, haven't you? I'm still saying 0. Here we go. Okay. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the earlier time of 8 o'clock, which is will hopefully be the new format. We'll see. We're going to try something different this week. Angela is going to start her very first build, and as if that isn't difficult enough, she's going to actually do it as a video build, which is quite something. So just a quick sort of recap. Angela's never ever built anything before model related. Only craft background is cross stitching, of which is very good, and jigsaws. No plastic cementing of any kind. So she's really going in feet first. She hasn't even looked at the kit. So this is really going to be, you're going to see a true new person into the hobby and how they tackle it. I shall be on hand in the background to offer some assistance where I can and help fuck things up. I mean, destroy things. Sorry for the slip of the tongue there. So, with that said, we need to get Angela in and get her going on a kit. So, do you want to come and let me get my tablet first so I can take over the chat. There are your instructions. So, the sprues are down there.
And it's over to me. God help us all.
Where's pass me my coat over?
I've been watching lots of different people model over the last few weeks, and been thinking about doing it for a while, but just nothing's ever jumped out at me to say build it. And then we went to Telford, and I was amazed at the different things that you could build. I was quite surprised. And while Mark was off doing whatever he does, looking at God knows what, spending God knows what, I came across this, the FA18A Hornet, and its colours jumped out at me. Didn't know anything about it, just looked at it, liked the colours and thought, go for it. So here we go. Very briefly, I've looked at the instructions and thought, oh my God, what have I let myself in for? But here goes. I hope you like it. If you don't, please tell me. I won't do it again. But we're going to give it a go. Right. If I'm too slow, I apologise. It's my very first time building anything like this.
Just take your time.
So you really will just have to bear with me.
I'm still trying to get the chat up.
Go onto my computer, the chat's up.
I should have had this up. Oh, your stuff's all in the way.
A novice at the chat. Don't go too far. The noise in the background is him trashing my Christmas decorations by the sound of it. Here goes nothing. I was very frightened to see that the sprues are extremely, some of the items on the sprues are extremely tiny. But you never know, so you try. You look at things in the world and think, I'm not going to do that because I've got no chance of doing it. But you can be surprised. And there is my very first item off. It looks very daunting when you're taking things off and you think, right, that's the start, and it's tiny. And I'm going to drop things, and I'm probably going to break things. But it's my first attempt. If it all goes well, I'll be very happy. If it doesn't,
so
I'll be very,
when
very
you take them off, Angela, once you've snipped them off,
see, what have I done wrong?
you haven't done anything wrong, I'm just telling you. So once you've snipped them off, you get a fairly smoothish one of these, and then where the, you know where the little nub was where you cut it?
Yeah, which I was worried about.
Yeah, just so just file it very gently, just file it so that it's smooth, so you can't feel a raised edge there.
I think there's a truth.
That'll probably be enough.
Oh.
That's it. Yeah. You have to do that with every piece you take off.
Oh, this is going to take a lot of patience. Awesome, first piece done. I'm not expecting to get a lot done tonight because this is my first attempt. This is my first attempt at doing anything on YouTube and modelling. So I literally, as Sprue Surgeon said, I literally have jumped in at the deep end.
Don't worry about the people watching.
I wasn't. Thank you. I'm trying not to think of the people watching. I know there is people watching. I would like to say hello to my nieces and nephew, Rebecca, Richard and Rachel. Thank you for watching. It's a very fiddly thing to do. And then you think you cut it off and it doesn't budge. So you know you won't. Ooh. Is there many people out there that have picked a kit up, looked at the kit and said, yeah, I'd like to build that kit, and then have opened it, looked at the sprues in there and thought, nope, and put it back in the box and put it away? Then a very, very fiddly bit. Whether you can see it, it's this tiny, tiny little bit here. In this incy wincy little bit. Not so keen on the little bits. But we shall give it a go. These are the bits I'm expecting to break, lose. Oh! Oh, we found it.
Cass is watching.
Oh. Hi.
Do you mean oh?
Hi, Cass. Thank you for joining.
We're never at the end of that now.
Please be nice. That is a very tiny fiddly bit that I know I'm going to lose. Right, I'm new to modelling. I've got my bits. I do not know what to do next.
Right,
so I need Sprue Surgeon for this bit.
So you can look at, if you look at the guide.
I can see the guide and telling me where to go, but how do I get them to connect?
So this stage is called dry fitting. So you get them roughly, you can see
roughly where they need to go.
So you use the shape and then they should sort of fit
Crumbs. It's got to sit like that.
Let me have a look first quickly, just so that I can see, because just pop that in my hand a minute, just so that I can double check something quickly.
Let's just make sure I have it the right wheel. Because that wouldn't work if you got it the wrong way. No, that is definitely the right wheel. Is that side? That is that side.
You just see what it is. So it's saying the seat sits in front of that there. So it actually goes on like
this is a very fiddly job.
it looks like it goes on like that.
Some people will probably say first model, first build should have gone in for something simpler. But I don't believe in that. I believe in if something catches your eye, go for it, because you never know whether you're going to do it if you don't try. Everybody can start off something very simple and think, well, that was too easy, I'm not going to do that because I'm bored. You need something that's going to challenge you. You might bugger it up, but at least you've tried.
So it goes, it's actually quite a fiddly little seat.
Yeah, I don't do things simple. Never have done. That's why I'm with you.
It sort of goes like that.
Yeah, because that little bit has to sit in the top.
You see there where it's on like that?
Yeah, because like I said, that little bit.
So there's two ways you can do it. You can either hold it like that, hold two pieces together in the manner they need to go, and then grab some glue and just touch the gap where the two meet, and you'll see that the glue will flow along the gap. It's called capillary action. Or you can pull them apart, brush some glue in the gap, and then join them together. Choice is yours. I normally hold them together like that and then touch the brush, the tip, into the
Now, what's the likelihood of me gluing my fingers to the...
No,
No?
it's not super glue.
Okay. All right, what's the likelihood of me burning my fingers?
No. You're just going to be using a minimum amount of glue. You're not wallpaper pasting. And it'll be the same the other side.
It sits. Oh, this is very fidgety. You'll just have to bear with me a bit.
Always look at your drawings and your arrows for the guide, because they tell you, like that arrow there is clearly saying that the seat slots in that corner there. Sometimes what you can do is jump ahead a few steps and have a look at the seat in its finished, how it looks, and sometimes you might get an idea of...
It's not that, it's keeping hold of it with one hand so you can glue it with the other.
Right.
Go for it. What?
Right, so...
Extra Tamiya instrument is very important.
I don't know whether you got any in the gap then or not.
I let go and it all falls down.
I thought you brushed it on the wrong side. Is it coming away?
Shh, we didn't say that bit.
That's your gap there, yeah.
Like I said, it's a learning curve. Crumbs. Stinks. Please don't glue my finger, please don't glue my finger. Well, it's glued.
Right. Now you do the other side. There you go.
You get as high as a kite doing this modelling log. half an hour maybe wasn't long enough. It'll take me half an hour to glue the seat together.
Don't worry about the time. I've got an eye on the time.
Come on.
Lynn says you'll do a great job.
Hopefully, I will.
Lynn's got to go to work, unfortunately. Let me just jump back quickly and have a...
That's okay. Everybody's got to do their bit.
So, model officer. I can't remember who model officer is. Sorry for that, but I do know that I know you. That's all I can say. I do know you. So, he says good luck tonight, and Mrs Sprue, he's heading off, but we'll tune in tomorrow. So he's going to catch up tomorrow on what's going on.
Yep, you'll be able to skip the bad bits.
Paul says, is this live? No. This
Paul.
is pre-recorded.
Decided it was a bad idea to do it
Dr.
live.
Sprue says hi again. Seems okay now. Yeah, we had a bit of a glitch at the beginning, in that no, we just had a glitch. We'll leave it at that. Hi Tim. Tim's in. Which is Tim's actually tuned in to watch somebody else's program or feed or whatever.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. And then Richard's there. Hi, Richard. Your nephew, Richard.
Yeah.
And then you have said, ah, apparently.
Yeah. Because I was dreading it. I've been nervous ever since this was my suggestion. And I've been nervous ever since.
Dr. Sprue, Hello Pizza Plastic, Electric Blue.
Ooh, that's a new name.
Yeah, 1972. Welcome. Hello all. Welcome, Electric Blue.
And we have a seat.
Now you got to see, you got the top section.
First seat, first one. Success. We have a seat. We have a lid.
Did we get the second piece of paper?
I'm quite proud of that. I know it's not very big, and it's not a very big accomplishment for most people, but somebody's first model. No. That's an accomplishment.
Very good. Dr. Sprue said, go for it, Angela. International scale model of Paul. Is that Mark's spoon for cooking up? Yeah. Yeah, you can't see behind, but we've got a full meth lab going here. Dr. Sprue, right. Eagle Janverdurf.
Sorry if he's pronounced it wrong.
He finally found the new stream. We're just going to call you Janverdurf. I'm just going to call you Wolf. Rachel and Bushnell. Hello. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Rebecca. Hope you're well.
Oh dear, this is a...
Rachel says you can do it.
And it begins.
Wolf says take your time.
We are missing a piece.
Oh.
It went that way.
Right, what piece is it?
It's not a very good start.
Where's the phone? It's got the torch on.
It pinged that way and then I don't know where it went. Okay, it's my first kit. There might be bits listening.
I need the torch.
Oh, I can't help you with that. Move on to the next piece.
Where's the phone gone?
Don't know that either. You're not very organised. No, I haven't got it. One of the mishaps of modelling, pieces disappear. We'll find it.
But I need to know what it looks like.
I won't glue it until I've found it. Might have to put that back in next week's. But you never know. Like I said, everything's a learning curve. You've probably stood on it.
I need to know what it is. I could be looking for anything.
It's a little plastic piece about that big.
Show me the picture. Which piece?
That piece.
Oh, hell.
Yes, like I said, it went that way. So it could have gone anywhere.
Right, fortunately, that is the
Bit that we don't need.
the joystick. I think I found it.
Get him. Normally me finding the bits, not him.
Right, there you go.
Panic over.
Right.
Be brave.
Let me get back to my message.
Probably people said, please turn her off. Come back, Sprue Surgeon, we miss you.
No, they're not going to say that. So, where did I get to? Right. Lynn was woo-hoot. I made it to Mark's live show. Bummer, now I've got to go to work. Oh, it's a shame. Love the idea of seeing someone start from scratch. Well, that's exactly what I'm hoping will be the outcome. Well, I say it was Angela's idea. I don't know if anyone can hear me over here.
If you can hear him, give him a hello.
Yeah.
Just to stop him rabbiting, if nothing else.
Oh, that blinking Norman's in.
Hi, Norman.
Hello, we can hear you.
There you go. They're not ignoring you.
Andy Morris. Now, I know before I read this is going to be... All right, okay. Andy says, I lost my mojo, Mark, and watching this has made me get the fire in my belly again. Either that or it's a urinary tract infection.
Oh, dear.
John Sharpie's Models has put, get on your knee and find it.
You tell him.
No, he's
Right.
Right, I'm sorry if I've missed, because I've got the dog barking in my ear. I'm just going to skip Angela's first encounter of the carpet once the, how can you lose a piece?
Yeah.
Ah, you got Steve in. Hello, Steve.
I'm not entirely sure I'm reading these instructions.
Right. Anything you need help with?
Possibly. Because I don't understand what they are. It just
Andy
says...
Morris said she's better than you.
It just says C's. Well, there's nothing that shows you what that means.
It just says what?
Look, here. It says C6, C5.
Right.
Decals?
Yeah, I'm guessing they're decals.
Right, well, this one needs a decal.
Right, yeah. But you can't put them on yet until you've primed. So what you need to do...
You want me to prime this little bit?
Not yet, not yet. So you look at the colours that it's requiring you to paint them in.
Right.
So you can prime all in one colour.
This is not from a modeller's build, this is from my build. How about I don't prime, I don't paint anything in the middle. Once it's all together, I paint my shit. Me plain.
Yeah, but that's going to be more difficult when it comes to the interior parts.
But there's only me going to see the interior parts when I'm putting it together.
Well, it's...
Once it's together, nobody's going to see the interior
Right,
parts.
I mean...
There's only me that knows.
This is your build.
Exactly.
So I can only advise you on what to do, but ultimately you've got to do what you think is good for you. So normally you would prime all this and paint it all.
And put the decals where they've got to
Yeah,
go
put the decals
blah,
on.
blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a perfectionist to the point where I want to get it built. Not Russian, I just don't see the point in...
It's not Russian, it's American jet.
BK. You distracted me now, go away. I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
I'm going to put the decals on where it says, but anything that needs to be painted that I think, in my opinion, I'm not going to say for my very first build, I'm not going to paint.
Right, okay.
If I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong, but I'm doing it my way. It's my mod.
Okay.
It might look crap when I'm finished, but this is my very first attempt. So
right.
If I do it and I enjoy it, then maybe next time I do one, I will do it the proper way and prime it and blah, 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 blah. But for now, I'm just going to do it my way. So, help.
Well, I don't know what you want me to...
Right. My next section...
Right.
These are decals, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Now, this decal for this side here has got to go on. That seat's got to go in there. So do I put that decal on before I put the seat in?
I would say that you will get away with putting that seat in and then putting the decal on afterwards because you'll see it.
Right. You see this decal?
Yeah, you're probably going to need to put that on.
Where does that go?
Well, that goes on your instrument panel.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it goes on like that, it goes... Are they saying it goes that way on?
Yeah. Because you've got three there.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 decals that you've got to cut out and then add to that. Do you want to do that now?
No.
Now is the time to do it.
Okay.
If you want to put them on, now is the time to do it.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, just saying, if you want to prime that...
I don't want to prime it. I'm not priming it. Forget priming. Priming doesn't exist in this mold build. I know that is going to wind you up some chronic because you're a perfectionist. But I'm not priming. Not this bit anyway. Just no priming.
So you need to find them numbers on there. I think they're pretty much going to be in this area because they're your instrument panel bits.
Oh dear. So the decal numbers will be these C1, C2, C3. Oh my. Oh.
Still don't want to use a magnifying glass.
No, I can see them.
Right.
That ain't the problem. I have got to put...
Yeah, on the dials.
That and that on them little squares.
Yeah.
C1, C2. It says and C3. But C3 is 4 squares.
Yeah, so you're going to have to... so C3... Can I just have a look at the decal sheet closely? So C3, they're video screens. So they're green screens. Just because you've got 4, you'll just use the 2 for now. The other 2 are probably used somewhere else. They'll probably be used for the rear pilot, the rear bro. Right?
Yep. So the rest of these, like the 5, the 1 and 13, that's not decals, they're paints.
They're paint colours.
Right, this is going to be something new as well. How do I get that from there?
Right. You need the sharp knife on the side. Always make sure the knife is sharp and new. I've already tested it. And then you've got to cut them numbers out very carefully with that knife.
And how do we stick these onto? Is it with this smelly thing? Cement?
No. Once you've got them out, I'll show you what to do next. So, just trying to catch up a little bit on the chat. So where did I get to? So Paul says, yeah, do one.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Terry needs a kick up the arse.
Oh dear, this isn't flowing very well.
Matthias, I do miss Terry and June. Yeah, that was a damn good show way back when it was
Hello,
on.
Matthias.
The Andreas, go on, Angie, do it your way. I did it my way.
That's all. Nobody wants to hear that.
Steve has said, your way or the highway. Norman says, yeah, let the modeler work, Mark. You might learn something.
How to be patient.
Thanks for that, Norm. I shall remember that. Bastard. Matt Hall. Through it all, if in doubt, do it your way.
I like these people.
Paul says, sit in the chair and read the comments. This is what I'm doing. Andreas agrees. The famous words of Benjamin Franklin. In the famous words of Benjamin Franklin, I did it my way. I thought it was Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
So that's Ivan. Steve says, sound by Frank.
I don't like decals. Decals shouldn't have been invented. What's wrong with stickers?
Maybe paint it first, Paul says.
No.
Yeah. I agree, but this is her build, so...
Did you not know I'm a stubborn northerner?
Got to be a way of being able to control this thread from jumping about everywhere.
Stop pressing the mouse. Right.
Andy Morris, what's a decal, please? Is it a specialist tool for modelling?
Oh, don't know, but it's driving me nuts. They're probably not cut out to your standard, but
no, it doesn't matter how you cut them out, as long as they're, you know, some do, but as long as you've not run over them at all with a knife, you're okay. So now you're going to need a pair of tweezers over this side. Always keep your decal sheet, put it back in the bag, and then put it somewhere safe.
Well, I will when I finish with it, but I haven't finished with it yet.
Right. Because if it
See, you're jumping ahead of me.
Any water on it at all.
Yeah, well, I'm not finished with it yet.
And that one. That one.
Oh, I could come up with some things for these.
And that one. So basically, just pick up one, the one you're going to use.
I'm going to go with. I can see me losing these.
Or actually, I've got a better way. I've got a better way now that.
I've got it.
All right, so dip it in that water. That's lukewarm water. It's been left to room temperature. Now leave it in for about 15 seconds.
Yep. Now,
No, leave it in a bit longer. That wasn't 15 seconds.
that was my 15 seconds.
Right.
That's not 15 seconds.
Right, now just put it to one side where you can see it. One there.
Oh, it's upside down.
Right.
Right.
Right. And now get your next one ready.
Oh, this is so needed.
Dip that one as well. Doesn't have to be 15 exactly, but you get that sort of length of time.
There you go. That side.
And another way, just for people that are watching, you've got one there, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
So you could also, oh, where's the,
Don't make things complicated.
no, I'm not. Because they're so tiny, we could put a tiny dribble of water down there and you could just put it in that.
It's in a bubble.
Yeah, just make sure it goes in.
It's in a bubble.
And then, you know, in a minute, turn it over.
Yeah.
And then in another minute or so, turn it back over.
Yeah.
And just leave it, take it out of the bubble and just put it to one side to sort of let it do its thing. Now then, your first one should be ready.
Oh dear.
And I don't know how this is going to work because you haven't painted it. So,
Well, we're about to find out.
I've never seen it done this way before. So, and then just drop that in the square it needs to go. Might add just a second before you put that on. I'm just going to.
You want to drop it heavy up?
Where's your?
It's going in that bottom square.
This will just help it along if it's.
I've got this on like very, very thin. We need to move quick, otherwise it's going to go ping.
It won't ping because it's wet paper.
It will if I let go.
I don't know whether anything came out of there, so just put that. Now, very gently, using just the point of the tweezers, once it's seated. Use your finger if you need to, just to.
For God's sake, get off.
We can use the tip of the brush as well.
It won't come off the tweezers.
Right, okay.
It's just gone round and round in circles.
Just use that. I've already loaded it up with water. So.
Oi, oi, oi. Patience. Women have lots of patience, but mine is wearing very thin. It's in!
Right, now is it in the right position?
Oh, pass me that minute. Look at that, spot on.
Right, so if it's spot on, don't touch it.
Spot on.
Right, we'll leave it. Now get your second one up and put that one on. In a minute, we'll put some solution over the top of them. I really don't know whether they're going to stick, but we'll see.
Cool, this is a fiddly lark, I tell you.
So, right.
I'm sorry if I'm not talking, but there is lots of concentration in here. No, it's fell out again.
Optimus Prime. So, where? Thought somebody else said Optimus Prime. A little bit back here. No. The Andreas, what's primer? Andy Morris, your hands look soft, Mark. Well, there you go. Your head looks soft, but Ivan says Optimus Primer question mark. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Norman, will you be using UMP primer?
No.
No, because she doesn't want to use any primer. Andy Morris, it goes on a bit this show. Well,
Don't watch.
Don't go down that road. Andreas, Mark, go fetch tools and water for Angela. John says times 13 should be okay for Blue Angels. Blue. X13 is referring to the paint, which we're not doing. So
we will be painting the plane, the outside.
Paul says get some towels and hot water. Oh, that's already been said back here.
And we have success. 3 decals.
Andreas, ready to hear.
Oh, that was hard.
Paul, 456.
Still
456, 789.
Ooh.
La la la. Where are we? Matt Hall says, is there a marriage counsellor in the chat? We may need one at some point. Well volunteered. Ivan says, is this about trigonometry and equilibrium? No, you need the engineering room for that. There's no equilibrium in this house. I can tell you that for nothing.
Stupid question, but what does that mean?
Equilibrium is.
Don't want to know.
No, you don't.
Okay, that'll do me.
An engineering term.
Okay. Yep. So no more. We're doing really well. We're getting there.
Andreas is coming now. Everyone's putting numbers in. Numbers start now. Excellent.
Just ignore that bit. That's normal.
Steve says, Mark, let her do it her way. It's all part of learning. What scale is the spoon you're making on the end of your bench? 1 to 1. Matt Hall says, first frustration, argument starting. No? No argument.
No. Constructive criticism.
Paul says, yeah, do one again. No, I think I read that earlier. What the hell is going on here?
You'll have to excuse my other half. He's not very good when it comes to reading the chat.
Well, no, because the chat screen, the lines keep flying up about 10 at a time.
Blame the products. It's the person using the products. I do the chat every week, and I don't seem to have a problem.
Hold on, let me get them timestamps out. I need to.
If you break my computer, I will not be happy. Whether you're modelling
or not. On such a tiny little.
Yes, don't be fiddling with my. No, I'm not going to say that.
8:32. So that was the Terry and June comment. Yeah, let them all. That was all mentioned earlier. Yeah.
I hope I'm not being too boring. I hope people are enjoying it. I mean, if you're not, please do say it, and we will go back to the 8:30 till 9:30, and I'll do this off screen.
Right. What's Angela doing? Angela has an ice ring. Oh, fucking hell, I thought you had to go there. Jesus Christ.
Private joke.
Wolf says stickers are for kids. You're going to have to tell me how to say your name because I I can't. It's Eel to G Janvadur.
Daniel, please go to sleep.
It's just easier for me to say wolf. Scale Hanger. Hello, everyone. Hello, Scale Hanger. Just wait till you get to the exterior decals. They're a pig on the Blue Angel Hornets.
Oh, thank you
That's
for that.
From John.
Well, I've got my first 3 decals on a package. At least I can do that because I was dreading doing that
Andy
bit.
Morris says best get the tweezers from the bedroom. Old jokes are the best.
Please, could you do something with the dog? I can keep him quiet while you're modelling. This is your job now.
Well, I can keep him quiet.
No, nicely.
He's just going to bark.
He wants attention.
Daniel.
Thank you. Fiddly, fiddly, no, fiddly, flippy, flea. Fiddly, flea, flea, flea. Come on, get back.
Right, you're actually coming up on an hour. Almost.
Well, let me put these 2 decals on. And then that'll be it, and you can take over because I'm getting frustrated with decals. Like really, really frustrated with decals.
So, oh fuck.
I apologise for the language tonight. Oh, floof it. I can't get these decals to go on. What am I doing wrong?
Well, I can't see because I'm stuck here with the dog.
Anybody offer any advice apart from putting them in the bin?
What trouble are you having with them?
Doesn't matter. Done.
Are they all on?
No, one's on. What do you think I am, Wonder Woman?
You had one on earlier.
I've got one more to do, and then you can have your YouTube back. All I can say is I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope I haven't been too boring.
Matt Hall says, my missus is watching this with interest. First time she's taken any interest in this hobby. Thank you. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. That was the plan. Well,
Size in. He says, I love Bandai kits as they come with stickers.
it's a learning curve for everybody. And I just thought, you know, instead of sitting watching and putting my 2 pennyworth in, I thought at least if I can have a go, when he's sitting there ranting and raving that something won't stick or he's lost a piece, at least I can now say, yes, I know that feels.
Ivan's asking, when is the review of the decal tray? Are you also reviewing the water in it?
No. What I'm going to do now is place these bits.
Bobbington Watt says, good evening.
And that is me done for tonight. Thank you very much.
Says, I'm putting on the pants.
Thank you very much for watching. I am now going to hand over to Sprue Surgeon. Hope you've enjoyed my part of it. Hope to see you next week if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, let me know. Bye for now.
Right. So, I need you to say... musical chairs. When the music stops, everybody Right. So there we have it. I'm just going to grab that. So we've got about, I don't know, we're just going to make a start on this. So well done to Angela for making a start on her kit. And hopefully that's going to become a weekly sort of event. Yes, I don't know whether them decals will stick. I really don't, but we'll see, we'll see. The important thing is that she's doing it the way she wants it to, and that she enjoys it. Yes, she could probably do it the way I've suggested and prime it and everything else, but then if she doesn't enjoy it, that's not really going to achieve anything. I'd rather her build and enjoy it than... Right, anyway, so we're going to be, for the second section of the show, we're going to be painting a Stormcast Eternal figure. Now, I mentioned these way back at the beginning of the show when it first started that I was going to be doing one of these, and it sort of fell to the wayside a bit. Now, I did do one, obviously, as we can see from this figure here. I did do one. Ooh. Ooh. Come on. Come on, mister. Perhaps wrong way. Because I'm looking at it on the screen. There we go. So there he is. That was my very first attempt at a figure in terms of this size and a Warhammer figure. You can see that there's a few mistakes there. So this one that we're going to be doing, I'm going to make the recommended changes to how I've done it and hopefully improve on it. So that's the plan. So first things first, I'm going to just quickly, I've just quickly saw that there's something on there that I don't want. Let's get rid of that. I don't know what that is. Some sort of, you know, I think that might be a bit of filler on there. I don't really want that on there, but anyway, we can probably, yeah, we can work with that. Let me just take this off the bottom. And we're going to add this to one of these lollipop stick things that you can find these in coffee shops. Coffee shops often carry these. They in the section where you get your sugar and everything, and you can stir them. They're just little coffee stirrers, basically. Just get yourself one of those. Get yourself some super glue, preferably half decent brand. I have many super glues, but upon recommendation from Mr. Paul Bretland from UMP and ISM, I'm trying the Rocket super thin penetrating glue. I've got to say, I've been impressed with it so far. I've only briefly used it a couple of times, and I'm about to use it again. It is, I got the hot version because there's about 4 or 5 different versions: hot, quick, slow, And yeah, this stuff, do not get this on your skin. That's all I can say. All super glues in general bond quickly because they were originally designed for skin. They were designed to patch up soldiers in theatre. By theatre, I don't mean hospital theatre, I mean war. In the theatres of war, you know, when they got huge wounds or gashes, you would literally, they would have these in like a little blister pack, more of a sterile version of super glue. It wasn't just like Boss Stick. And then they would just snap these open and just pour it literally all over the wound, and then just close the wound up, and it would be sealed. And that's what they were originally designed for. And I think that was World War II. That was when they were sort of used. But I don't quote me on that, I'm not certain. So anyway, they've obviously branched out, and that's why super glue is potent when it comes in contact with skin, because that was its main use. So yes, if you get this on your, and this one's chronically bad, it's by far the worst one I've come across. I got a tiny little piece of it dribbled down the side of something I was building. I mean, it was just a tiny little, and I brushed my thumb against it and instantly grabbed a hold of it. It was so yeah. So we're just going to pop a couple of little, oh, that's a bit too much, coming out a bit quick from there. A little bit on there, and then stand out, Mr. Man. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work because of the, most of it's absorbed into the wood. That's why when it comes to super gluing on wood, you normally use a different type of super glue. Just a bit more still. You can see that it's just seeping, it's being soaked straight into that stirrer. But if we can, oh, come on. Too much on there now. All I can do is sit and wait. Right, I have a plan. So that this is basically, because I'm putting it on wood, it's just seeping in. So what we can do now is use some activator. And activator, literally, oh, activator takes all of the, takes something away from, or adds something to the glue that instantly bonds it. So whatever it's touching, it just instantly bonds. As you'll see in a minute, just quickly spray that over there. And there you go, you've got an instant bond. So our character is on there. He's ready to go, ready to rock and roll. And so we need to decide now, what are we going to do next? Now, you saw earlier in an earlier episode or earlier show that I'd already been round and cleaned up the little nubs where they'd been taken away from the sprue. Now, a majority of this guy is metal. So the first thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to use a proper primer for metal. I think before I just used a generic matte type primer. Well, this time, because it's all sort of gold, we want to use a gloss primer. So I'm going to use the best one I know for that. And we all know what that's going to be. It is, of course, UMP Gloss Black, which is perfect for metallic effects. Anything that's going to be metallic, this is the thing. This is the one you want. And why is that? Well, it's because it's gloss. Because it's gloss, it's got a very, very smooth surface when it's laid down, and it just gives that shine. Helps the shine come through on all the other different metal type paints that we've got. I'm not going to pretend to know anything more than that. That's all I know. I'm sure there's lots of other information that could be divulged on it, but unfortunately I don't know. So first thing we need to do is give this a damn good shake. If you're one of these people that has been sat round for months and you haven't used it, then chances are there's going to be a lot of sediment settled at the bottom, and you really need to shake the life out of it, purely because you want to make sure that everything is mixed up inside. I mean, really give it a damn good shake. If you think it's still all stuck around the bottom, there's two things you could do. You could take the lid off and use a paint mixer, but I'm not really keen on taking the lid off primers, purely because of an incident I had with another primer. I kept doing that, and the primer set inside the bottle against the sides of the bottle because I kept taking the lid off. And so eventually, as I'm shaking it, all these bits that were attached to the side that had gone off from opening the bottle fell into the primer. And before long, when I poured the primer into my colour cup, I was getting tiny little bits of primer that had already set. So I prefer not to do that. It is a solution if you're really stuck and it's not working. Then you know it'll get you out of trouble. This is not going to happen with this though.
I said toss that bottle.
What?
Toss the bottle.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Once it wasn't a UMP product, incidentally. I just thought I'd mention that. So just a damn good shake, and there we go. That's really shaken up enough. And then we're going to use the airbrush. Let me just get a couple of. I would normally do this over in the spray booth, but because I'm on here, after Christmas, there will be a second camera set up on the spray booth.
Somebody's getting spoiled.
And I will be able to, this camera will be going over to the spray booth, and I'm being bought the new, or the newer 920 version. This one's the 615, the Logitech 615, C615. So there should be an improvement, albeit slight, but there should be an improvement. So I only need a few drops of this. I'm still sort of getting used to this new airbrush. This is the Ultimate Apex airbrush, available from umpretail.com for around £85 plus postage, I think. So I'm just getting used to this still. But I'm finding I'm using a lot less paint than I was on the Iwata. So I'm going to go straight in and just gently pull back that trigger until I start to get, there we go. So it's starting again. Got a bit of just a second.
Just to query this, Matt has asked a question to Paul. Andy Morris.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Can't ring the door.
I don't know what happened there. It's the first time I've had that happen like that. So basically what I think's happened is I've left something in the airbrush from the last time I was painting, and I'm thinking it's probably to do with, because I've been working with like cellulose and alcohol, solvent-based paints. I'm thinking there's residue in that, because what's happened is the primer's reacted with whatever I've left in the airbrush, and it's sort of clumped and it's spattering like that. It's actually coming out in, yeah, that's nice, yeah. So my apologies for that. That's a mistake on my part. I should have checked that more thoroughly before I set about painting tonight. I can only apologise for that. It makes me look a bit inept, but
Matt said, don't apologise, it helps us to learn.
yeah, but I don't want anyone thinking that it's the product that's wrong, because it isn't. It's a mistake I've made. I knew that straight away. The minute I looked at the tip, I knew I'd fucked up. Is that there we go. Anyway, we still managed to achieve the I've still managed to prime the character. I'll just have a quick look in a second. There we go. I'll run some UMP thinner through that now and airbrush cleaner it. Make sure it's ready before I use acrylics next, which is what I should have done. There we go, that's much better. So where are we? I think actually it's probably as good a time as any to end there. I'll just have a quick look at this. It's actually okay.
Can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm just having a very close look at the figure because obviously I made that cock up with the primer there, and I've got a few, when I was spraying, I've got a few bits that were coming out, and I wanted to see if it had affected this coat in any way. If it had, I would probably just use some use Norm's trick of the self leveling thinner, self leveling thinner, and take it back to plastic and do it again. I may do that anyway, just to be on the safe side, because obviously there's been some mix with the chemical in the airbrush there, so it's not going to be very accurate, really. It looks okay, actually. It looks fairly smooth, but there are a couple of bits that I don't like the look of. So yeah, I think I'm just going to take that back to plastic, and we will revisit that next week. We'll do that again, and go from there. So my apologies for that. Started off really well, Angela's build really well, and then I came along and cocked it all up. So fantastic. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed everything you saw. Hope it wasn't too long. You know, sometimes these things can drag on a bit. And I look forward to seeing you all next week, when we'll do some more of Angela's build, and we will spray this again, but correctly, and we'll go from there. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now.